So, why do you think we don't always choose the best reactions? Well, I think we don't always choose the best reactions because we're not always aware. We're not always aware that we're choosing. We just react instantly in that moment because we're conditioned to react, because that's how we've lived our lives for thousands of years. It's only recently that people are starting to think, hang on a minute, is getting really stressed, really wound up or really upset going to help me now? Because the situation's already occurred. That my car's already broken down, and that person's already said something to me, what situation's already occurred. Is it not better for me to just take a step back, maybe take a deep breath? Obviously I'm feeling some kind of negative emotion, but now I've got the choice to manage it in a way that's beneficial for me. So I think we don't always choose the best reactions just because we're not aware of it, mainly. Because it's instinctual. We've always reacted in a bit of an animalistic way, completely at the mercy of our environment, been completely at the mercy of our own emotions, and it's always been, that person made me feel this way, this happened, therefore I'm stressed, that person was mean to me, therefore I'm really sad. And I think over the last few years, more and more people are starting to realise that actually that person said something to me, but I'm going to choose not to let it affect me, primarily because I care about myself and because I want to look after myself, I want to look after my health. And maybe, this is looking at it in a more positive way than a negative way, maybe that person feels bad about themselves because they're lashing out, they're attacking me. If you're a loving person and you love yourself, then surely you don't want to attack anyone else. So maybe that person's suffering inside themselves. So, it's a completely radical way of thinking, but it's a way that not only helps yourself, but it helps other people as well. So, Kerry, how do you go about it? How do you stay positive? Good question. How do I stay positive? Now, you're probably thinking, you're talking about all this, Kerry, I bet you're a really positive person, aren't you? I bet you're never upset and never angry, never stressed. No, that is most certainly not the case. Wake me up at 6 o'clock on a cold, dark morning and you'll see how angry or stressed I get. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's a process all the time. You never kind of go like that. It's always up and down. Sometimes you feel great, sometimes you don't. And I think the way I've really not mastered it, but the way I'm starting to master it is because I've been through really bad situations myself. Unfortunately, I've had a few family members pass away, die of cancer, and they've wanted to die at home, and I've looked after them, which has been an incredibly traumatic situation. There's nothing really in the world more traumatic than losing a loved one. So in that moment, you can feel so much emotion in your body, and out of really terrible things, I think the one thing, even if you could think, well, I'm going to just try and at least calm myself down because surely all this upset is no good for me, I'm going to make myself ill. So it's even out of that bad situation, I've learned to kind of look after myself a bit more and start to master and try and disperse a negative emotion and try and dissolve it in some way, because I know ultimately it's not good for me.